won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady, just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me just make sure I'm checking my audio. Okay, everything's working, guys. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. It is 6 p.m. here in London, still here in London. As you know, we had a massively successful live show last night here in London for the Kempire After Dark, a live tour, this was our first international tour date. However, we've been doing multiple cities in the United States, from New York twice. We're about to go back to Washington, D.C. on January 25th. We were just in Los Angeles. We were in Nashville, Boston. We were in Atlanta. We were in Philly. And of course, again, we were in D.C. Be sure to let me know where you're watching from. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Shout out to everyone that's in the live chat. It's a members only live chat. You know, we do this at least once a month, and we even do members only videos. We recently did a members only live going through Andy Cohen's new New York City apartment that he has up for sale by Ryan Serhant from, $1 Billion Listing, but also the new show on Netflix, Owning Manhattan. Sidebar, they did release a trailer for Selling the City from the producers of Selling Sunset and Selling the OC, and formerly Selling Tampa. I'm still trying to understand how we're doing a show in New York City and I don't see one person of color, one Black person on the cast. And look, the real estate game, there aren't a lot of people of color. There aren't a lot of Black people. However, there are quite a few in New York City. Scotty says, I'm in the cubicle in New York City. So, Scotty, are you whispering? I remember being in the cubicle in New York City. Don't miss it. But I hope that we can be a form of entertainment for you, Scotty, while you're at work. What time is it in New York right now? 1 o'clock? It's 1 o'clock in New York. So that means it's 10 a.m. in LA or on the West Coast. So shout out to all of you that are watching, and shout out to our replay crew as well. And I hope probably by today or tomorrow, I'll be able to announce officially our New York City live show that will be coming early next year. So stay tuned for that. But first, Washington, D.C., we're going to talk all about Potomac. I can't wait to come to Washington, D.C. The premiere seating for our D.C. show is already sold out. And there's already a low ticket alert on the meet and greet. So if you want to meet me, take pictures, spill tea, talk about stuff, we do all kinds of things during our meet and greet. So get your tickets today for our Washington, D.C. show. There are still tickets available for general admission. So get those tickets today. All right. I know some of you hate that I promote, but look, if I don't, who's going to promote me? Who's going to promote me? YouTube? No. Okay. So I have to promote all the things that we're doing, because also a lot of you will end up saying to me, I didn't know you were having a show in London. I didn't know you were having a show in DC. I didn't know you were having a show and mind you, this is why I mention it so much. Okay. So that you can't say that to me. All right. Hey, Natalie. What's going on, everyone? Be sure to, again, to let me know where you're watching from. All right. Real Housewives of Potomac. So I just watched the episode. As you know, I could not watch it last night because I'm in London and we were live when you guys were probably watching. No, I guess the time difference. It hadn't even aired yet, but fine. If you had to rate this week's episode from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Honestly, if we didn't have the storyline with Mia, I probably would have given this a better rating, but this Mia storyline is so cringy. It's so cringy because it's like, what are we doing right now? Like, I feel bad for the kids. And I think Mia is trying, in her way, trying to paint the narrative that it's this way. But then when you see the kids filming, it's like, oh, so the kids don't know about your divorce, which is fine. But she makes it seem like the kids don't look at Ink as a father. He looks at it as just their friend. But literally, see it in this last scene, the daughter saying, "You can't marry Mr. Ink." So kids are not dumb, and this is one of the examples. How many times we tell you, kids are not dumb. They sense things. But we literally saw a couple of episodes ago you guys having this fight, Ink, Gordon, and you, Mia, and the kids are literally in the other room. This is not a big apartment. It's not a big apartment. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that because that is the final scene of this episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's first start with Gizelle with her twins. I know they're trying to paint a new narrative, a rebrand for Gizelle, but we've always said we love scenes with Gizelle and her daughters. And I love the scene. I did not expect this will conversation. Who got a new will in regards to her father? So you remember her father passed away very suddenly, but apparently someone in his last days had him sign a new will. Who, Gizelle? Was Giselle's father still married to her mother? See, the fact that we have to ask that question says to me Gizelle has not really shown a lot of her life. And maybe she said it in the early seasons, but we haven't really seen any of her extended family besides her father on the show. Okay, Shai says, I think he must have gotten remarried. Because I'm confused. I'm confused as to like what happened here. But I know a lot of you that have dealt with family situations like this where maybe a parent or a loved one gets married again and then there's this fight over assets. But and this is where I'm going to be on Giselle's side in regards to this, because no matter if he got remarried, her father, he would have left something for Gizelle. He would have left something for his grandkids. So this new will that he signed in his last days left nothing to Gizelle and her kids. That is exactly what Scotty says in the live chat. That's nasty work, taking advantage of older sick people, which happens all the time, which is unfortunate. So I didn't expect this particular story in regards to Giselle's storyline, but she talks about this with her twins. First of all, I love the twins. The twins are just so funny. I think it was Adore. She was just like, work was tragic. But she was like, Giselle was like, but you need the coin, but we need the coin. She's like, yeah, but we need the coin. Angel is excited to leave. She's excited to leave, but Giselle's like, well, you're excited to leave me? She's like, not you, but I'm excited to leave. And I really believe them. I really believe her daughters love her. I know we have our feelings about Gizelle based on what we've seen on reality television, but we've always said she's a good mom. And we can tell that they love and adore her. And it's just really been them. There's just these three women in a house together. And last week, Mia tried to paint the narrative, which was so weird and cringy. Like, Mia's just weird and cringy. Look, we get it. Gizelle has done some problematic things, but this was sort of out of left field. The girl snuck a boy when they were in DR. Okay, they're teenage girls. You probably did a lot worse. I can almost guarantee you did a lot worse when you were their age. Okay. Okay. So this is where we get the update in regards to the will. I did not see this will situation happening. But who knew? Gizelle has an interesting storyline this season. I mean, look, it was natural for her to talk about her kids going off to college and things like that. But the will situation, I mean, I think it's very relatable to a lot of people that have dealt with similar situations. But I'm sort of like, what happened? I mean, she doesn't get into the details. And look, I know some people are like, here we go. Giselle's not going to get into the details. We have to remember this is a legal situation. So she probably has to be careful what she says on the show. First of all, not to give a heads up to what might be happening with this other person. But the fact that her father and according to Gizelle, she was there in his last days, would sign up for a new will. So she's trying to have this will thrown out. And if they get the will thrown out, that means that he died without a will. So he didn't have a will all his life. Hey, Winter, thank you for being a member. We appreciate you. I know it's a members only live, and I know you guys really want to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, but we do this for our members, so it feels really exclusive, right? But yeah, but thank you for becoming a member, Winter. So I just find it very sus. I find it very sus that this man never had a will his entire life. Because remember, a lot of times when we talk about wills, it's one will versus another will. According to Gizelle, he had no will. So in his last days, all of a sudden, he gets a new will, and he wasn't in the best condition. And in that will, he left nothing to his daughter. Look, we can say a lot of things about Gizelle, and we have, but I don't believe that he would leave nothing to Gizelle or his granddaughters. I don't believe that. Gizelle has a sister. I know some of you are like, she has a sister. Gizelle has a sister. I wonder what she has to say. Come on camera, sis. We need you to weigh in as well. We need you to weigh in as well. That's crazy, though, that the fact that Gizelle lost her father and there's no one else besides Gizelle weighing in when it comes to her life. Yes, her daughters, but what about the other people in Gizelle's life, like her sister? What about her mom? Cousins? Look, longtime family friends. It just feels like there's no one around Gizelle. And I get it. Not everyone wants to be on camera, but I just need more to have an understand. I think if we had more from Gizelle, we would probably understand Gizelle a little bit better. Look, maybe. I don't know 100%, but maybe if we got a little bit more, we would understand Gizelle a little bit better. Hey, Brandy. Brandy says, love these kikis. N-Dub says, and also, I do not think this would be something Gizzy would be exaggerating. She takes her family matters very seriously. I agree. I don't think Gizelle is exaggerating. I believe what Gizelle is saying is 100% the truth. For once, look for once. So I do find that to be interesting. Tish says, my mom is 76, and I keep insisting she write something down in terms of a will. She keeps saying she'll get to it. It's so frustrating. Well, maybe you need to just set things up for her in regards to this. Like, okay, Mom, we're going to the lawyer today to do this. What I did love in this conversation with Gizelle and her daughters, Jamal has set up a trust for his daughters. And, you know, Adrian has called in. We've had multiple people call. I even think this Esquire has talked about this, setting up a trust. That's something I need to work on. But again, I don't have kids. So if I die, who cares what everyone else gets? Just saying. But we've learned, and literally, I love the fact that we're talking about this on this particular platform when it's aimed at a particular community. So Jamal has set up a trust, and Gizelle's like, I don't want anything, you know, that I have for you guys, you know, to be, you know, squandered or someone else to take it if she was to get into a relationship. So her daughter was like, why don't you just set up a trust like Dad did? She's like, you know, I got trust issues. But no, she should. She should. I don't know what she's going to leave them. The dilapidated house, the G&A Fusion brand. Gizelle, why didn't you just get back into makeup? I felt like that was such a good stepping stone. I felt like a lot of people did like your Every Hue makeup line, but I think because of COVID and a lot of things, that's why it ended up falling apart, which happens. But I just felt like that was a decent lane, because if anything, if the wigs don't work, at least your makeup, a lot of people say, is usually on point, right? Look, I'm not a makeup nista, so you guys will let me know if you would buy makeup from Gizelle. I mean, it is a beauty brand, so anyways, but I just felt like that it was smart, because early on in her Real Housewives of Potomac days, she set up that brand Every Hue. To me, it was really, really smart at the time. Kay says, let me tell you, a detailed will is so important. I do have a will, but I want to set up a trust. I do have a will. I don't remember who gets what in that will, though. I mean, nothing has changed since I set it up, so I should be good. Winter, thank you so much for becoming a member. Sky, even I'm just gonna call you Sky. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate the support. Auntie Kim, thank you so much for becoming a member. And Sky, thank you so much for becoming a member as well. We appreciate the support. Guys, don't forget to like the video. That's another easy way of supporting the channel. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Don't forget, you can also hear an audio version of our live recaps, like the one that we did last night. We had breaking news about Sean Diddy Combs, a lawsuit that now involved Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. He spoke out, then Tony Busby spoke out. So for those that may have watched the video and you didn't watch it to the end, we had breaking news in that as well. But you can also hear an audio version of that update on the Kempire podcast. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. All right. Okay. I agree. Tyree says this was a great segment for viewers. People probably decided to do a trust for their families. Right? That's exactly what I was thinking. Winter says these things are important because the way family can move when someone passes will shock you. So true. Which makes me wonder, like, what are the actual details to what Gizelle is talking about in regards to, her family? Is it other family members? I don't know if I don't know a lot about Gizelle's family because she hasn't shared a lot in regards to her family. But I'm assuming that maybe her father remarried and it's the new wife. But apparently Gizelle says that he signed a new will, but not even new will. He signed a will. And then she says if she gets this will thrown out, that means he died without a will. So that means he didn't have a will before this. So he got a new will. It makes me wonder what Gizelle's relationship was with, if he had another wife. I'm assuming he had another wife. Okay, but where's Gizelle's mom? Like, how are we watching a show about people's lives? And I feel like we haven't seen any of that. We've seen Karen's extended family. She lost her parents, so of course we haven't seen them. We've seen all of Ashley's family. We've seen, Stacey's new to the show. Wendy, we've seen everyone in Wendy's family. Like, how can we have not seen Gizelle's? We have briefly, but like they're not in your everyday life. But we get to see Pastor Jamal Bryant. And I get it. He's a part of your life. He's a part of your kid's life. But I feel like there's more that we can learn. And they're supposed to film the reunion for Potomac very soon. So that would be interesting to see if she will give us more details in regards to, so who had him sign this new will? And what's the update on that? But something like that could take a long time to fight in court. So I doubt she's going to have an update, but you never know. You never know. Hey, Sky. Sky says, hello, Kempire and mods. Love the show last night. And like, you were there. We love you. I have to say, the love in London was real last night. We had such a great time. It was a great experience last night. Fantastic to see Grace report. Yes. And your aunties could never. And yes, you smelled amazing. Oh, I remember you now. Thank you so much. I'd much rather smell amazing than stank. But yes, again, please thank you to Grace Report and your aunties could never. We had such a great time. Everyone brought it on stage. We had everyone brought it in the audience. Okay. The audience was, doing a lot. Gigi says, I did my medical directive and will prepared years ago. Do you need to update it, Gigi? Just saying, but apparently you probably don't. Okay. Kay says, please come back to LA again. It was so funny. There were certain places I have to come back again because I wanted to do certain places before the year ended. So a lot of those dates, we did LA on a Wednesday night. Who's coming out on a Wednesday night? A lot of people did, but I know if I come back on a proper night, we would be able to catch a lot more people. Also, the end of the year, it's the holidays. We did that show right before Thanksgiving. And then we did this show on a Sunday right before the holidays. So, excuse me. I just wanted to do these shows. But yes, I will have to come back and see you guys. All right. But Washington, D.C., we're going to talk about Potomac. We're going to talk about all of it. You get my very first show at the top of this new year. I know it's inauguration week, but I will be the light at the end of this dark tunnel. Okay. Anyways, yeah. And Dove says travel is hard during the holidays. It is. See, Deborah says Los Angeles again. Please say. I know. I feel like I need to. Yeah, Misty says Phil. I had a good time in Philly. I had a good time in Philly too. We had a good crowd in Philly. But again, I will bring the information back to the team, and then we'll hopefully figure things out. Okay. All right. So back to this. Let me move on from this because we have some more to talk about when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac. TJ and Stacey at her apartment. Okay. So TJ is cooking for Stacey. I guess he wants to make up for how bad he may have looked on camera. Okay. And I'm sure she probably pointed out, I was like, this is being filmed. We don't even know what editors did not share. Can you imagine the stuff they did not share? What they did share of TJ at this party was so cringy. He's like, I'm warning you. I'm warning you. He's like, don't touch me. What? Oh, that's when I was like, it was one thing when we thought he was just, weird or wasn't interested in her. But I don't even care about that part. The fact that you might seem abusive, I'm like, I'm not featuring TJ at all. So why did he have a satin bonnet? It wasn't hers, right? Because she says, I don't even wear a bonnet. So Stacey, while he's trying to prepare, she's just like, she tries to correct something that he's doing. He's like, oh, but it's my restaurant. And I'm just like, there's a little darkness to that relationship that I just don't like. All right. So they talk about what happened at Wendy's party, and he says that he felt like he was the Uber date. And she's like, I thought you were hanging out with the guys. I couldn't find you. She's like, yeah, you basically just brought me there as a prop. Some people speculate that maybe he wanted more camera time, maybe he wanted more attention. But I'm gonna put that to the side. There are some guys that are like this, that are very clingy. They want the attention, even when they're at a party or function. So that could be what he was feeling, or maybe he did want more camera time. Okay. All right. So Stacey thought that that TJ would be fine hanging out with the boys. He seemed like he was okay. All right. So TJ asked Stacey about hiring a forensic accountant. So as you know, she's going through a divorce, but she says she hasn't told TJ everything. And she's like, she doesn't think that she should, because let's be honest, he's not even her boyfriend, right? He's just someone that she's dating. So you don't need to tell him the details of your divorce. Okay. The same way I thought it was kind of weird that she was even sharing anything with these other women, but she's not giving them full on details. So she says she's not hiring a forensic accountant. I don't know if I believe that. I think she just didn't want to tell him what she's doing when it comes to it. So I found it interesting that he was even asking her about it. Okay. So she says she hasn't shared everything in regards to what's going on in regards to her divorce, because that's personal to her in her marriage. Rightfully so. I think that's actually pretty smart. But then we find out that TJ has never been married before. Can I just say something? If a gay man that's at a certain age, 40, 50, tells me they've never been married before, for me, that's not a red flag. But when a heterosexual man tells me that they've never had children before, and they never have been married before, and they're of a particular age, it does, like, I tell my girlfriends, I'm like, that's interesting. I'm not saying it's impossible, clearly, but there's so many red pride flags when it comes to TJ. I'm like, okay, here goes another red flag. He's never been married before. Okay, but there's more in this conversation that I just was paying attention to. Okay. Stacey then says, what the other ladies have been saying in regards to their relationship, that she really shouldn't go from one serious relationship to the next. And she says, how would you feel if I wanted to date other people? Well, he says that he would have to keep his options open. But then he says he says sex was never casual for him. So clearly he has had sex before. Okay. But so now he doesn't want to have sex with her, Why? Until they get married, as opposed to until they're in a serious relationship. Something's just not connecting. Something's not connecting for me. And Stacey is beautiful, smart. I keep telling you, she's the Palo Santo, the sage for this season. I did see that they say something happens with Stacey during the finale. Gizelle mentioned that, but I don't trust Gizelle. I'm still team. I'm still team Stacey. Okay, until I'm not. Okay. Let me just say thank you. Thank you, Fortune, for the super chat. She says, I missed the show in London. It was my 40th. Next time. Happy belated. Happy belated. You could have came and celebrated your 40th with us. But I hope you had a fantastic birthday. Thank you so much for the super chat. And of course, I will be back to London. I will be back. Look, this is I came here last year. I'm back here this year. I said next year, the O2 Arena, or maybe somewhere in that range. Okay. Oh my goodness. Exactly. End up says Stacey's a major cat. She's smart. She's beautiful. She's sweet. She's kind. She's like a decent human being. Like, I don't know what the hell she's doing on this show. What the hell is she doing on this show? But there was just so many red flags that TJ keeps mentioning in regards to keeping his options open, which fine, you should. If she's saying, how would you feel if I was dating other people? And she says to him, well, I kind of would like for you to fight for me. I would kind of be like, want you to be a little jealous. So he kind of is like, well, I don't want you to date other people, but I'm not going to be one of those guys that say this. And then, that's just not who I am. And I'm just thinking to myself, Stacey, either he's into something else or he's just not that into you. Okay, look, it could be that. Maybe he's just not that into her. And I know what you're thinking. She's a beautiful woman. What is there not to be into? It doesn't matter. Everyone has different attractions to different things. So maybe he's just not into her. And that's fine. But I just feel like now it's getting to a toxic level. The way that he talked to her, like there's microaggressions. Even in this kitchen scene, I was like I'm worried for her. Like, I don't want this to be the relationship she gets into after 15 years of marriage with someone that, at least for the most part of the marriage, they were happy. I think this next chapter should be her having fun, a good time. She clearly is okay with having sex outside of marriage. And the fact that this man's making all kinds of excuses for not to have sex with her, and he has had sex out of marriage before, doesn't mean that he can't change his mind and that he's on a different path. But maybe that doesn't work for Stacey anymore. Because Stacey wants to feel attractive. She wants, because that's the thing too. Here's the thing. It's not that he doesn't want to have sex with her. Just because you don't want to have sex with someone doesn't mean that you don't make them feel wanted or intimate or sexual. You can still do all of that without having sex. And I don't want to hear, like, I don't want to be tempted. You are a grown adult. You can still feel attracted to someone and control yourself. Okay? You can definitely control yourself. But Stacey wants to feel something. I think Stacey would probably be okay with not having sex if she felt like she was getting intimacy in other ways. He doesn't want to touch her. But here's the thing too, intimacy is not just touch. It's also, especially for women. See, this is why I keep telling you, straight men, you need gay friends. For women, it doesn't work that way. It's more mental. It is the touch as well. But he's not giving her mental. He's not giving her touch. Like, sir, like, why are you here? Why are you here? Look. Hold on. Hey, Austin. Austin says, TJ is an energy sucker, draining on all levels. Ugh, right? Asia, nice meeting you here in London. Thank you so much for the super chat. Asia says, hello, Kempire. Was happy to meet you last night in London. Shout out to Abigail. I sat next to her and enjoyed our chat. That's one of the great things that I've noticed at all of the Kempire After Dark shows, because I know some of you haven't come because you're scared of coming on your own. But one thing I've noticed for our show, a lot of people come on their own and they end up conversing and chatting and connecting with other people within the community. So she says, shout out to Abigail. I sat next to her and enjoyed our chat. Grace is beautiful. Grace report. The whole show was brilliant. Asia, gold top lady. I remember. And your husband, look, let me spill Asia's tea. Her husband brought her to the show. He didn't come inside. Her husband waited outside while she enjoyed the show. And she paid for the meet and greet, but was late for the meet and greet. But we did get to meet at the end of the show, which I'm glad. I'm glad. So, Asia, thank you so much for the super chat. And shout out to your husband. He's a real one. He love you down. Look, he love you down. Kay says, yes, I love that part. You can come by yourself. It's nice. Thank you, Kim, for creating that love space for all. Love that. I really do love that. So many people said that's what they love about coming to the show. So for me, the show really is just that. It's a community building, community connection type of show. Yes, I go up on stage and I entertain you. We talk about hot topics, all of that. But really, to me, it's just meeting the community. Deborah says, I loved going alone. I like being with like-minded people. And look, some of you brought people that you turned on to our community, which I love as well. So I see that as well. Okay. So shout out to all of you that came to our London show last night. Fantastic time. I look forward to coming back. All right. But I'm still in London. So I'm just enjoying it. I'm taking it easy because the last few days have been prepping for the show, prepping and doing things like that. So, and of course, working, as you guys know, I was up late last night reporting on Jay-Z's response to Tony Busby and this new lawsuit that he's involved in. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me get back to my notes. Let's move on from TJ and Stacey. Wendy with her sister and her mom. I like the scene, and I told you I don't want to see any Wendy scenes without her mom anymore because her mom is so entertaining. But Wendy decided that this was the time that she was going to tell her mom that she resigned from her position at the university. Okay. So, and her sister's like, so you decided to invite me to this. Well, according to Wendy, as a Nigerian, you can be one of three things: a lawyer, doctor, and if you want to be really adventurous, an engineer. Okay, we've learned that. Okay, so as they're ordering the food and things like that, her mother's praying, and Wendy's like, "Oh, can I also get something else?" She's like, "I am praying." Here's the one thing I have to point out: I do feel like her mom, every time she's in the scene, is putting on a lot more. She's laying it on thick when it comes to her religion, because of what she's been accused of from last season. You guys notice that? And I'm not saying that she wasn't religious before, but I do notice, at least in the last season, that's what she's been doing. Everything she's praying, she's saying Holy Ghost fire. Like she's doing that to kind of downplay from what Nneka was trying to say about her last season. It's okay. If you didn't do any of that stuff, we wouldn't even think about it. But the more you do it, the more I think about last season. So so Susan corrects Wendy. She's like, I'm trying to pray and you're talking. Okay. So Wendy finally tells her mom that she resigned, and her mom, I feel like I think they were putting on a little bit, because I feel like Wendy already told her mom, but I also feel like her mom is okay as long as she still gets her check, because her mom sees what Wendy's doing. She's on this show. She has this opportunity. Wendy just announced that she has another opportunity. I forgot what the opportunity was, but it was really cool. It was actually more in the educational world as opposed to, this world of reality television. But I think it was actually a crossover between the two. So I thought that was really cool and perfect for her. You know what I mean? So Wendy tells her mom, and her mom's like, no, this is insane. And Wendy's just like, just because I'm not teaching at the university does not mean I don't have my 4 degrees, doesn't mean that I'm not a doctor anymore. She also says, based on what she was feeling like at the university, she felt like she was just being tolerated there as opposed to being celebrated. I thought that was interesting. Why would they just be tolerating Wendy there? But you never know. Like, maybe there's microaggressions that exactly, Vigilian, she's teaching a class about reality television. So it's back into the educational world, but she can talk about the reality TV aspect of it because she's a part of it. Okay. Thank you, Shai. Thank you, guys. The psychology of reality TV. Honestly, because you know I'm a psych major. Well, I have a psych degree. I would want to take the class. I would want to take the class. I think that'd be great. Okay. Anyways, sidebar. Can I just say? I mean, first of all, we know the Potomac girls can't dress except Wendy, but Wendy's confessional look with the pearls and the red hair, gorgeous. I was really looking at it. I was like, oh, gorgeous. AMB says academia is as brutal as corporate America. I can only imagine. I have no idea. Shai says it's gonna try and call in. I related so much to Wendy's scene. I'll be dropping the call link in just a second, guys. Keep liking the video. We have almost 1,000 people here. I know I set this live very last minute, but here I am. Here I am. I won't be here long because it is getting late here in London. I do want to go back out, get some last minute shopping while I'm still in London, right? Why not? Look, why not? So don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So Wendy's mom quickly gets over the fact that Wendy decided to leave academia and it's going to be focused on her talk show. And, of course, she's not going to say the reality show because they don't do that. So her mom is not worried about her. And I think maybe because she's been on this show for so long and she has all these other opportunities, her mom is not worried. But I like the fact that Wendy is going to get into, she's still going to be a professor, but she's going to be a professor talking about reality television. I love that for her because she can speak to that. She can speak to that. And she has the education on how to speak to that. She's done lesson plans. So for me, that's perfect, as opposed to some of the other things that she's tried over the years. So I think that's good. All right. So Ashley and Gizelle go speed dating. So we see Ashley's friend. We saw Ashley's friend. Remember, this is a friend, Brant, that did the homeless charity, scaling a building. So apparently he hosts this speed dating for Ashley and Gizelle. So at the very beginning, before they even get in, Giselle's like, if there's a guy I like, you need to back off. So they end up sitting down with different guys, and Ashley goes through the things that she's looking for in her next man. Some of the things that she said I thought were interesting. She said family oriented, attractive, and well endowed. And I said to myself, so everything Gullum isn't, allegedly. Look, allegedly. So basically, she's going for the complete opposite of what she got into. And some of you might say that's because when she got with Michael Darby, she was looking for her daddy. She was looking for money, allegedly. Maybe. So now in this point in her life, she's looking for love as opposed to security. As you know, she recently filed for divorce. They came to some sort of settlement agreement. I guess we'll get probably a little bit more details during the reunion. Of course, part of that agreement probably is some sort of NDA, because as you know, that was one of the reasons why Ashley did not come to an agreement with him during the season, because he wanted her to sign an NDA. And she's like, I need to share my life on the show. I cannot not talk about you. And as you know, he doesn't want to be talked about or seen on the show. Miss Brooklyn says, first marriage is money, second marriage is love. Is that true? So I guess my first marriage will be for money. So I asked the London audience about this. I was like, so what about the men here? We had an election. I'm looking to be a passport, bro. But some of y'all said the men over here are stingy, but some people disagreed. Not everyone agreed with that. So I was like, all right, because I can't be with a stingy man. I need to find me a prince or a duke or something. Lord have mercy. Anyways, so Gizelle talks about some of the things that she's looking for in a man. And Gizelle clearly has a type. So when she sits down with Namza, I said, that is Giselle's type. And she said Jason was a little different. Apparently, she said Jason's body was on point. I don't believe anything really happened between Jason and Gizelle. I really don't. Because we all said Gizelle has a type. And not saying that you can't, veer away from your type. I just didn't I just didn't believe that relationship. Okay. So when she talks about the things that she's looking for in a relationship, like walks in the park and things like that, producers are like, so you're looking for a TJ? Giselle's like, no, not really. Okay. Um, but she says Jason was very different than the other guys. But honestly, I thought Namza, first of all, good looking, her type. He's quite younger than she is. She's 40, she's what, 50 something? So he definitely does look younger. But I could see the potential for this, but we didn't see them go on a date. We did see Ashley go on a date with Josh. So Josh sits down with Ashley and they seem to have a vibe. Ashley has the type because I feel like Josh looks like that other guy from, what was it, Summer House? I feel like they kind of favor each other. Elle, thank you so much for becoming a member. Guys, again, don't forget to like the video. Let me take a sip. And if you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and your rating for this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So they do the speed dating, and Ashley seems like, first of all, Gizelle says she likes Josh for Ashley, and she likes Namza and Gizelle. So speed dating, cute scene. Was I entertained? I could have did it because that's the thing. Gizelle and Ashley aren't the most likable, so watching them going on a dating thing, which makes me wonder how it's going to look on Love Hotel, that new show where they both will be on with Shannon and someone else. I forgot who else. Oh, Luann. Maybe the mix of all the different personalities will make it better, but just this little scene with them speed dating was interesting. Miss Brooklyn, thank you so much for gifting memberships to our members, our new members, and for those that are watching in the live chat, we appreciate your support. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let's talk about Karen and Ray sitting down. Look, I have to keep saying this. I enjoy Karen. I've always enjoyed Karen on the show. She always is so funny. Even this season, she's so funny in her confessional. She makes me laugh. So in this scene with Ray, she's talking about her accident again. And then she's talking about Ray's lack of support over the years. Specifically, recently, I'm guessing she's alluding to. But she says now, since the accident, he's been nothing but supportive. Okay? But of course, for like the thrillionth time, they've shown the scene where Ray says he's not in love with Karen. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, we get it, Karen. Any excuse is better than none. And I think maybe this would have landed differently if we had moved past and she knew where she was going in regards to this case. But I know we're in the middle of it and she can't say much, but some of the things that she said could honestly hurt her case. Last week we also talked about how the information with the body cam footage, her statements that she made during the arrest, she wanted dismissed and the judge said no. But she's, again, losing her parents. She talked about last week with Raven. This week she's talking about the issues with Ray. All the reasons why she got behind the wheel, allegedly inebriated. It's one thing to be distracted and getting to an accident. That's all what she's accused of. That's not what she's accused of. So you're saying because of your issues with Ray and because you were distraught about your parents passing, it's the reason why you got into this accident. It had nothing to do with you allegedly being inebriated. Okay. All right. Deborah says, that was 2020. Please stop, Karen. Winter says, she's triple 20 plus one acting like this is beyond me. To me, it's disappointing. It's quite disappointing. And like I said, this is coming from someone that really does appreciate Karen, and I can appreciate her funny during the season. But at the same time, I'm just like, Karen, I am over all these excuses. Because I don't believe it's the race stuff. I don't believe it's the parent stuff. Yes, those things can be hard, but at the same time, what exactly caused this accident? Was it because of those things, or was it because you were inebriated? Just saying. I mean, she can't say anything, but at the same time, it's like, all right, Karen. All right, got one more time. So Mia and Kiana meet up. And again, Mia's on the phone with Gordon. They seem to be in a good place. But she says that Gordon is going through an episode. And here's another scene that's cringy because it feels like you're talking about this kid's paternity. Now you're talking about Gordon's mental health, and it's not your job to do it. And it feels like you're using it as your storyline. She says Gordon at one particular point recently said that he feels like Mia and him should get back together. They don't have to be intimate. And I'm thinking to myself, I do believe Gordon did say that to her. I think Gordon is going through something, but I just find it cringy that Mia is utilizing it as excuses to discredit him at certain points or to justify her relationship with Ink. She also tells Kiana that Ink feels like, she tells Kiana that they're going to do a test. Gordon's not for the test of the DNA test for Jeremiah, but they are going to do a test. And she says that Ink, because Kiana's confused. She's like, is he the father, Ink? And she's like, she doesn't believe that he's the father, Ink. But he says, he does step in. He's a father-like figure. And they have a lot of similarities. This is where people get lost in the sauce when it comes with Mia, because you can easily say, I don't believe that Ink is the father, and period. Again, Gordon's the one who put that out there. But the fact that you're kind of insinuating that there could be a possibility is so irresponsible, because your son could see this today. He could see this in the future. The fact that you were so sloppy with saying, he is like a father, and, they do have a lot of similarities. Really? Like, this is not jokes. This is someone's paternity. This is someone's identity. I don't know if you realize this, and maybe you do because of the way you grew up. I don't know if you realize this has damaging effects on people when they don't know who they are. Kerry Washington talked about this in her recent book, and she did interviews talking about, oh, well, now I understand, because I didn't know my true identity, because remember, her father wasn't her biological father, and they never told her. And she said, oh, well, now this is probably why I went through what I went through growing up, because I always felt like there was something just not 100%. Just saying. So as I'm watching these scenes with Mia and the kids at the end, I'm just like, I think Mia, I haven't said this before, but I have felt this. I think Mia wants to paint the picture like she's the best mom. I'm not going to mom shame her, but I think she's acting when she's doing these scenes with her kids. Like, we're going to do cookies and do that. I'm not saying she's a bad mom. What I'm saying is I feel like those scenes with her kids are her producing a certain image of the type of mom that she is. Just saying, because she also said the kids think Ink is her friend. Oh, we'll get to it. So Josh and Ashley, I know some of you skip over these scenes with Ashley. I skipped over Ashley during the London show, completely forgot to even talk about Ashley until the end. I was like, oh, we forgot to talk about Ashley. Everyone in London were like, we don't care about Roni. I was like, oh, okay, London, so you all feel the way that we feel. So we see this scene. With Ashley and this guy, Josh. I like Josh so much. I think that Ashley is not good enough for Josh. I want Josh to find someone that is, first of all, Josh is what, 30 years old? I mean, here's the thing. I feel like when you're in your 20s, if you don't have kids, I don't think you should date someone that has kids. I'm not saying it's impossible that it won't work. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. She's got a lot of baggage, Ashley. She's got the baby's father that I don't know what's going on there. Just saying. But I want better for Josh. Josh, we found out, had thyroid cancer at 28 years old. He seems like a lovely kid, grew up on a farm. He seems like a really decent human being. Too good for Ashley. Sorry. You know you were thinking it. You know you were thinking it. I want better for Josh. Ooh, I want better for Josh. Okay. Oh, Miss Parker says Ashley's a non-MF factor internationally. Uh, and Dove says, how did Ashley's date pull in the audience more than Ashley himself? See, Sage says, I'm 29, and that's the last thing I want. A woman, look, things happen. But someone with two kids, like young kids, I mean, look at Tinsley. It actually works out. But Tinsley is a woman of a particular age, and she's always wanted kids. So she got with this man who lost his wife. I think it was his wife. Where they had young kids, and now they're together. Right? Philly John says Ashley wants Gollum. I wouldn't be surprised if they still, kick it. You know what I mean? Deborah says, right, Kempire. Josh is too good for Ashley. Tish says, run, Josh. We want better for Josh, but we will see Josh later in the season. Not later in the season, probably upcoming episodes. Okay. Exactly. AMB says, look at Croy Bierman, Kim Zolciak's estranged husband. Lord. Endo says Ashley has a type though. She really does, because that guy favors the other guy from Summer House. Just saying. Doesn't favor Gollum, but I might, maybe a little bit. Gollum with hair. Sorry, Josh. All right. Mia. So the final scene of this episode, was Mia at home with the kids. And honestly, I don't think even Mia was prepared. You can't ask kids to lie or orchestrate a scene. Jeremiah asked, why are we living separately from dad? And then he says, because Mia says, we're getting a divorce. And she's like, the divorce? So he seemed confused, like this had never been brought up to him before. He says, you didn't explain that to me. All right. So I thought that was interesting. And you saw Mia felt awkward in responding to it. But Jeremiah had some, actually, he says he has mixed feelings about this divorce that's happening. And I felt that was really articulate for such a young kid to say to his mom. So it seems to me, Mia, although she's telling the audience and the other ladies one thing, which is part of the reason why a lot of them feel a way about her, because they're like, you're telling us one thing, but it seems like it's another. So here's another situation. We feel like, oh, the kids, I forget what she said exactly in regards to what the kids know, but she tried to make it seem on camera, daddy and mommy are getting a divorce. He's like, I don't know that. I don't think you explained that to me. So Gordon comes down, and the kids are so excited to see him. And she says, she initiates the conversation to have the conversation with the kids on camera. We have to think about that. She wants to initiate this conversation with the kids on camera. It's not just two grown adults having this conversation, a serious conversation about a divorce and where they're going with this divorce. So Gordon says, the fact that they're sad about their parents getting divorced. He says, I think that's normal. I think I'd be more bothered if you weren't sad about that. But he said he accepts the fact that they're getting divorced. So Mia was sort of like, oh, so you're okay with us getting a divorce? Gordon says, I resigned to the fact that you want this divorce. Mia then says she wants to preserve the innocence of her children. This is where Mia loses me, because you say one thing, but your behavior and actions do another. You're not preserving your children's innocence in any shape or form. Your actions are not doing that. How are you preserving their innocence? How have you done that? And it's so cringy to even talk about, but you are the one that has brought this on the show. So we have to talk about it. And we have to call out your hypocrisy. We have to call out your cringiness. I did find it interesting though. The daughter was like, so how did you and daddy meet? And I forgot the answers, but they were giving very vague answers. Oh, we met, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, but where? But where? He's like, oh, we met at a club. And we know they met at the strip club. I just thought it was interesting that the daughter kept on pressing. Like the daughter almost knew. And again, kids are a lot more internet savvy and connected to the internet than you even know, starting at a very young age. So I'm pretty sure these kids know a thing or two. I just found it interesting that her daughter was asking more and more questions in regards to how they met. I was like, oh God, what does she know? Okay. But then her daughter then says, but you can't marry Mr. Inc. So remember, Mia has said the kids think that Mr. Inc. is just her best friend, just her friend. We also have heard Gordon say that the kids have seen Mia in bed with Inc. So the kids know that this is not just your friend. And they don't want her to marry Mr. Inc. because I'm sure if you really want to peel back the onion, they don't want that to happen because this guy they probably view as breaking up their family and probably everything else that's changed in their life. Remember, their financial situation has changed. They've moved multiple times. All these things are probably happening and no one is explaining to them why they're happening. I.e., her son Jeremiah is asking about this divorce. Like, you never really talked to me about that or explained that to me. Okay. Auntie says, I think Mia coached the kids on what to say, and they're saying something completely else. But Julia says, these kids are not playing with Mia. They're not. They're not. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. It's a members only live chat. Shout out to the members that are in the live chat. Shout out to the members that are watching the replay. Shout out to those of you that are watching just this live recap in general. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Mods, can you just let me know how many likes we have? And I will drop the call in link shortly. Okay. Matter of fact, let me drop the call link now. Okay. Foxy says, I am not feeling ink at all. I'm not feeling ink. And honestly, I'm not feeling Mia. Okay. We got over 1,100 of you here. We got to get up. We got to get up. Okay. Okay. I'm going to drop the call in link for our members. Okay. Oops. And I cannot be here long because, again, it's late here in London and I want to go out and enjoy my last moments here in London. Okay. All right. Let me see. Oh, hold on. Ms. Brooklyn says, Gordon said they have been having an affair for years. Those kids know. Yeah, like early in their marriage, they had Ink and Mia had an affair. And apparently she had gotten pregnant and had, taken care of it. He said that this season, Gordon. Gordon comes on this show and drops tea. Danny says, hey, Danny. I met Danny again last night. Danny says, Ink trying to promote his radio show. Ain't nobody even listening to that. We hear he's a radio personality, but who's making the effort to go listen to that? NASA says, the kids know too much. These kids know too much. All right. All right. Miss Melman, not me missing this damn. You YouTube. I also did do this very last minute. All right, but I've been talking for an hour. So I am going to take a couple of calls. I dropped the call link. Did I drop? Yeah, I dropped the call and link in the live chat. So we'll take a couple of calls, but I can't promise I'm going to take everyone because I do want to go back in these streets, these London streets, while it's not raining. Okay. And don't forget, guys, you can hear an audio version of our podcast and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. So subscribe today and don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. I'm hoping that for Christmas, you guys will gift me with 1,000 reviews on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Okay. No, I haven't. Philly John says, have you been to Bicester? Bicester Village? It's the UK version of Woodbury Commons. I don't really love Woodbury Commons either. So I haven't been. Uh, I did get a little jacket today. I mean, just in general, shopping here in Europe is really good. So it's fine. Um, Let me see. Tyree says, "I've been in Atlanta since the '90s, but never heard of Ink. Maybe it's for the younger crowd." No, it's not. Like Tyrese, how old are you? No, it's based off your picture. You're Ink's age, if not younger. I don't think so. I've never heard of him before either. Okay, but I'm sure someone has in Atlanta. But fine. Um, Austin says, "What time is it there?" It is now 7 o'clock. Did you sleep after the show? I did not get to bed until very late because if you saw, I did do a breaking story. I went and got some food after the show, and then I saw the breaking story about Jay-Z, and I was live for an hour. Then I didn't go right to bed because after I do a live show and then live here, I'm a little antsy. So, and then I woke up early because I met up with Grace Report and we had some Jamaican food. So it was busy. It was busy. All right. All right. So if you remember, we posted the call-in link. I will post it again in just a second, but we do have a few members backstage already. If you would like to become a member, there are all kinds of great perks. Members, I'm actually going to post some of the photos from last night's show on the members community tab. Okay. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Thank you so much, Gigi. She says she loves my sweater. This sweater I got from Banana Republic. I love me some banana. BR, where's my sponsorship? Just say it. All right, Tyler's backstage. Let's bring up Tyler. Hold on, Tyler. Oh wait, Tyler. Let me just put up my disclaimer for callers. Not that you need one, but I'm just gonna put it up. Okay. If I can find it, where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay. All right. Let's bring up Tyler. Tyler, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. So, I just want to say this: don't bring Ashley back next season. Goodbye. I'm over it. I don't care about who she's dating or whatever like that. I'm still liking Giselle. Unfortunately, this season. I like Stacey. I want to see Stacey. I think see her next season we'll see a little bit more of her personality. Kiana go. I don't understand why she's there. I'm just being honest. Maybe if Candace was there with her, it would like maybe that's a better pairing. I don't know, but no.
Ooh.
Mia is disgusting, and like seriously, Giselle threw shade at her at on Watch What Happens Live and said, "Oh, I thought she was joining Love and Hip Hop, like being shady." But my thing is, Mia is disgusting. Like you know that your kids have Googled everything. Let's be real. Like and it's like you're doing anything for a check. So I thought you were this multimillionaire. I thought you have so much money and all this. So why are you so desperate? It's as if somebody needs to bring a bottle of she doesn't even deserve premium water. She deserves Dasani. Somebody just needs to hand it to her and tell her drink this because you are so thirsty. I'm over her. But that's all.
Thank you, Tyler. Take care. OMG. I missed the callers. Okay. All right. We have Hayad backstage. Hayad, what did you want to share in regards to Real Housewives of Potomac? Why can't I hear you, Hayad? It's like really low. You have your headphones in? Like it sounds so muffled, like you're so low. Maybe take them off. Uh-oh. Gigi says she's dehydrated. A and B says amen, Tyler. Hold on. Philly John says the kids at school told them kids about mom. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No, I can't hear you, Hayan. It's so low. Oh, nope, I can't hear you. Okay. All right. Ooh, Lord. Winter says she needs to tap water from Nigel. We don't want to poison her. We don't want to poison her. Hold on, wait. Elsing says, not Dasani. Dasani killed my blowfish. What? Fox says, I can hear her. Me too. I can hear her a little bit, but you guys are not going to want to hear all those comments from her if it's very low. Guys, don't forget, we are talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I will be coming to Potomac, Washington, D.C., January 24th of next year. So get your tickets now, because honestly, next year is literally weeks away. Get your tickets now. We already sold out premiere tickets. However, meet and greet tickets may be still available and general admission. So get your tickets today for our Kempire After Dark live experience coming back to Washington, D.C. Okay, let's try Hayad again. Hayad, are you there?
Is it better now?
Oh, amazing.
Ooh, Campfire. I am returning those headphones. Anyways, by the way, I just want to say thank you so much for always trying to pronounce my name correctly. You always do it. I can tell you're trying, and it's great, and it sounds great. Thank you. Anyways, thanks again also for just not sleeping, because I was woken up in the morning with a live by you, and I said, wow, you do not sleep. You are just working. But thank you for that, because God, the information that was divulged, I was just, yeah. I couldn't. But back on the Potomac thing, I was a little confused about the whole paternity stuff with Mia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did she or did she not say she used IVF for her son?
She did.
So then, where's the question then? I thought IVF, you have to fertilize the egg. You know who fertilized that egg. But okay, that's neither here nor there. Mia's actually kind of terrifying. I don't know if you've ever had like a friend or a significant other that you divulge your weaknesses to, right? And in order to garner like support or to be just transparent with them. And then imagine come to find out that person is throwing those weaknesses in your face every day for the littlest things and making you feel like you're actually crazy. She is terrifying. All you people that have parents that are in old folks home, lock up those old folks homes. Do not let Mia near your parents. She is the type of person that will take advantage of the weakest people. So just putting it out there. And thank you again, Kempire.
Thank you so much for calling in. Take care. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. But shout out to everyone that called in. If you're watching the replay of this, I apologize. I wanted to just sneak this in and get it done before I decided to head back out and hit the streets of London. Audrey's backstage. We're going to bring Audrey up as well, because I know Audrey has a lot to say about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Audrey, what did you want to share?
Hi, Audrey? Kempire. Good to see you.
You too. What's going on?
Kempire, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Well, hi, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Oh no, I think I lost you. Kempire?
Yes.
Kempire, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, just really quick, I just want to say that last scene with Mia and everybody, just disgusting. To put those kids through that, I really didn't appreciate it. Also, the earlier thing with Ashley and Gizelle and the speed dating, please stop trying to make fetch happen. Nobody cares. Like the speed dating, like it felt like that scene was really long for some reason. But getting back to Mia and Gordon, that was just really hard to watch. It was really upsetting. Those kids are gonna go back and watch that and be so disappointed that they were put on TV like that. I think Mia should go. This should be her final season. It wasn't entertaining at all.
No, not at all. Audrey, thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome, and enjoy the rest of your time in London.
Thank
Cheerio.
You. Bye. Yeah, sometimes with StreamYard, it could be weird. Sometimes the time lapse and things like that. But look, I have to say that last scene, I mean, just the whole conversation, Mia's storyline has been cringy to watch because innocent kids are involved. Her innocent kids, the ones that she should be protecting. So I don't know. And I can see that the cast is not feeling Mia. It will be interesting to see what happens at the end of the season in regards to what went down with Mia. But it is what it is. Look, it is what it is. All right. Of course, come January, we probably will know more. And if you're in Washington, D.C., go get your tickets for that live show that we will be having in D.C. on January 24th. Ticket information is available in the description. Ticket information is available in the description. In New York City, I'm hoping either today or tomorrow to announce our New York City date. So stay tuned for that. I know a lot of you have been asking me about New York City again. So stay tuned for that. Danny says, and that lady last night said that we watched because of Mia. No, ma'am. Oh, yeah, there was someone. Not me personally. Wait, there was more. Oh, I missed the comment. Oh, Miss Brooklyn says, I also feel like she's exploiting Gordon. Without a doubt, I feel like Mia is exploiting Gordon. And I feel like she's using social media to make him look bad as well in order, I guess, in regards to their divorce, because I guess maybe he's asking for spousal support. Any money that Mia has, any substantial money that Mia has, I believe is because of Gordon. And normally I wouldn't say that. However, based on what we've gotten of Mia, she's not a credible witness. She's not a credible person. And it's hard to believe someone that lies more than she tells the truth. And look, Gordon is not innocent. Honestly, he probably created this. Not probably. He created this for himself by getting with this woman in the most dishonest way, because he was already a married man, and probably thought giving her all of these things that when he was old and gray, that she would take care of him, only for her to be taking what she got from him and this opportunity on being on Real Housewives of Potomac and now getting with the old man, the other man. Karma gonna get her too. The same way it's getting Gordon, Karma's gonna get her too. Because if she loses this job, what else is she going to have? What else is she going to have? And then she'll probably try and get back with Gordon. Okay. All right. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's easy and it's free. Thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down. Shout out to those of you that have been members, that have become members today. Thank you to Miss Brooklyn Diamond for gifting membership so people can see those amazing opportunities of being a member of the channel. And shout out to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys. And I still have to watch Married to Medicine, so maybe I will try and get to it between now and tomorrow. But stay tuned. I will get to it at some point this week. But as you know, still in London, so I'm prioritizing balance. You know, got to have a little fun with a little work. Okay. Gigi said the poll. Okay. Goodbye. On that note, we're going to go. We're going to go. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll ask you, follow my lead.